Hi Libra, and welcome to your March General 2019 reading. I'm Jade with yesYesYes, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. For all of the new people here, welcome. What this is a general spread, and I'm doing this for Sun, Moon, and Rising or Ascendant signs. And we start with the cards from 3 different decks that I pulled from the overall, the 2019 overall. So if you're interested in that, check that link out below. And let me just say a few other things. Oh, as I'm reading, if this is resonating for you, hit that like button or feel free to leave me a comment. I do love hearing your feedback, and I'm so interested to hear if it resonates. So just keep that in mind. If you want to have a personal reading with me, my website is also in the description box below. So we're going to get started first talking about our overall for the year. Libra, you have the drum. Now the drum, to me, is the card of keeping the heartbeat going, keeping the rhythm going steady for the rest of us, but specifically for yourself. The drum is the heartbeat. It's what guides us to move forward. We have to have this steady beat in order to launch ourselves from that. And so Libra, that's what you're exploring this year. It's a beautiful card. That's the Mystic Shaman, excuse me. Oh boy, can you hear it? Mercury retrograde's coming, so Mystical Shaman Oracle. All right, so for the month of March, let me just scoot around here. We have the 4 of Cups from the Line Strider deck, which is a feeling of dissatisfaction. It's having the cups with you, but not feeling as if they are giving you what you want. And this would be an emotional thing, right? Not giving you what you want. I think the traditional is that their cups are spilled, and or I can't remember. I think 1 cup is remaining, and the person doesn't see that 1 cup that's remaining. And the thing is and actually what's interesting, this card, the way that it was drawn, it's a black and white. This deck is actually quite vivid. But what we see is that she's kind of beholden to what she's imagining all of this to be. So she's imagining all of the disappointment. She's kind of sitting in it, and then she becomes enveloped in it. So just be aware that if you're feeling a little somber and you're feeling a little down, that your fellow Librans are also feeling the same thing. Now what I'll say is that the Lenormand deck is actually clarifying it with the birds. And the birds card is a card of communication and conversation, sometimes gossip. So what could be happening, what the overall could be, is that you're feeling somber, feeling dissatisfied with communication this month. Duh, Mercury retrograde. The other thing is that there might be some gossiping happening around you, swirling around you. So just keep that in mind. And if that's also what's making you feel a little dissatisfied or disheartened, maybe removing yourself from that situation and doing something differently, just reaching out to a friend, or even if you don't have an issue with drinking alcohol, just going to have a glass of wine with somebody, just to let that feeling out, because we don't want to keep our feelings inside, okay? So there's just a little bit of dissatisfaction when it comes to communication this month. And we said, ultimately, we've got Mercury in retrograde. I think that you are not alone. You are not alone, my friends. All right, so what I'm going to do this month, normally I am going to pull past, present, future, but I'm going to use just a few cards. Usually I kind of let the story unfold with a bunch of cards, and sometimes the story gets muddled. So I'm going to try to make it cleaner, and I want to hear back from you all, because I'm just trying things to see what works best, okay? So I have pre-shuffled the deck, and I'm now asking for Libra for March 2019. This is the general read, please. Libra, March. Okay. So I've got 3 right here. So it's telling me to lay them out this way. We have the 4 of Cups, 4 of Coins in the reverse. We have the Tower in the reverse. And we also have the King of Wands in the reverse. All right, so for the past, what this is telling me is that there was some letting go. And this could have been something that felt very secure to you. If it was a job, if it was something where you were garnering money from, if it was a relationship, you had been in a relationship where you didn't have to work, or you were taken care of financially. That's what I'm trying to say. The other thing is, you know, the coins are about food, clothing, shelter, health, well-being. So you were holding on tightly. Maybe you had a health routine that you were really, you know, good on for in January, and then you just kind of let it go because maybe it was it wasn't feasible for your lifestyle. I get it. I do that all the time too. So something was let go of that could have served you in a very stable or secure way. It felt that way, and we'll see if it's serving you to move on from that or not, because we also have the Tower here in reverse, which usually is, that tells me that there was a resistance. There was some kind of resistance to a change that was brought about. So if we're going back to the Four of Coins being a relationship, then this is a resistance to that relationship ending, okay? And that could have been a relationship with this King of Wands, which would be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, who also is in the reverse, not feeling empowered, not acting in the most kingly of ways. Maybe they were misbehaving, maybe and with all of these cards being in reverse, it just kind of shows that there was something amiss, even though, you know, we can look at the negatives and the positives of all of the cards. But there was definitely a resistance to a need for this change, a need to change the situation that might have been feeling, and then you might have gotten complacent, right? This might have really served you and keeping you stable and patient, and even placating you to a point where it just, there was no life left. And so that's what I'm feeling here, is that, you know, maybe this was a relationship with this fire sign, or someone who's very passionate and action oriented, work related, anything along those lines. But it's a relationship that had just lost its joie de vivre. It lost the passion or the desire within the relationship, and it needed to change. There was resistance, probably because this might have been a long-term relationship, or that it just felt really stable and secure, even though there wasn't much else. There wasn't much else. And the saddest part about it is that fiery energy is passion. So if we're not able to act from that passion, then it feels even worse, because you know that there's potential for that passion and it's just not there. It's just not coming. So this is something from the past. There was a major change, major upheaval that happened. Something came in. There was resistance. Looks like on, you know, both sides here, on all sides, everyone involved there. Nobody wanted the change to happen. This could have been even a health issue that came in and forced the change to happen. So it could have been something that was completely from out of the blue. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what towers do. It's just something that's out of the blue that says, all right, it's time to move on. So that's our past. Let's see what's going on for the present. We have the Empress, the Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Wands also in reverse. So the Empress card here is in the upright, and the Empress is in her power. She has control, self-control, authority, wisdom. She will fight to the death for what she believes in. She will protect herself first and then her kingdom, okay? The thing about the Empress is that she's also she's the most feminine card in the deck. So you know, these aspects of her where she is nurturer, but she also is a fighter. It's like the mothers who will fight to the death for their children. That's this energy here, okay? There's also an energy of, and you know, we've talked about passion and creation. So the Empress portends birth and bringing new life in. And what's interesting is from the past, there was no life. It just felt like it was shut out. And so now you're really wanting to bring in new life. This new energy. The Empress card is also the Venus element. So this would be Taurus or Libra elements coming in for you, or you're really settling into that yourself here, okay? Oh, I just said that for Libra, haha. So Libra, this is your element here. It's about receiving, but it's also about making sure that you are stating what your needs are and allowing people to give them, you know, to show up for you in the way in which you're saying that you need, okay? So there's a lot of battling and fighting here, and there's a lot of battling and fighting in, you know, in the cards to come. And I feel like you are really being pushed. And this is not your, you know, Libras generally like to flow, and you like to, you know, manifest in the most luxurious of ways where you know, lay back and let people just, you know, come to your feet. I get that, but at this point, what it's telling you in the present energies is that you really have to take action. You have to create this reality. There's no relaxing right now, because the relaxation gets you to a place of complacency. It doesn't serve you, because it might have at one point, but then you have to change because you change, right? We all elevate and we all transform, and so the love and the relationships also have to be able to do so. So right now in your present, you've left this relationship behind, or it's changed, and now you are being brought into your power. This is brilliant for you, Libra. Now we have the Queen of Wands that's in the reverse. Let me flip her around so you can see her. So this is a beautiful balance of masculine and feminine, because the wand suit is the masculine, that's the fiery suit, and then the Queen is the feminine. So what we're seeing here is that there's an upturn. There's, with it being in the reverse, that the balance is off. And Libras, you do not like the balance to be off. So the balance between the masculine and feminine, the ability to love yourself with compassion as well as receive the love with compassion is off. Being able to create as well as receive. Do you see that? We need to find that balance. That's what it's telling us, is that balance is a little off. I think that might be what you're fighting for, because that balance wasn't here in the past either. The Five of Wands here, it's the struggle, okay? Now, what I like is that the wands are coming down, okay? They're falling down. That struggle is coming to an end. So the balance is going to be reset. It's going to be reset when you step into your power and you actually, I think this even came up for you in another reading too. When you set into your, this is like an icon for you, right? So when you really step into your role, into your icon of being able to ask for what you want and then receive what you need, that is when all of this is going to get triggered and everything's going to turn upright for you. We don't need the Five of Wands to turn upright. We like that the struggle, that fight is coming to an end. So I'm feeling that for you in the present tense. Now let's see what's coming for you in the future. Let me just move the cards just a bit here. We have the Hierophant, we have the Three of Wands, and we have the Fool card. I like all of these because they're all in the upright. This is great. Okay, for some reason this wants to come out too, so we'll see what that is. Okay, the Hierophant is upright. That's a Taurus card. Also about tradition and honor. Three of Wands, planning for the future, waiting for what you have put out to come in and manifest for you. And now we have the Fool also in the upright. New beginnings, taking a leap. Now this Fool is a little different. This one's a little, it's harder for this Fool to open up and to move forward, okay? This is a Heidi fool, okay? It's interesting because there's a mental blockage with jumping forward. So just keep that in mind, especially Libra, because you are an air sign and mentally you are fixated, okay? So we'll get there. So there's more tradition, more weights coming forward. Now, if we're working on this relationship from the past, it looks like there could have been some balance that is getting worked out so that a new traditional connection can be reestablished, okay? So if we're talking about the same relationship from the past, if it hasn't ended, if you're in the middle right now of trying to work it out to reset it, this Hierophant here is telling me that it is going to be reset. This is a card of marriage, but it's a card of commitment. So both people will be committing to making this change happen, this balanced, putting down the wands and moving forward in balance. And it's not necessarily traditional roles like this. You know, you may be resetting your relationship to be an open marriage, right? It might be something that has been stagnant with just you two, and now you need to explore. So it's interesting, you know, we have the Hierophant being here saying that it's a new commitment, okay? Now, it's a new commitment to whatever you choose. It's not necessarily a traditional commitment. I don't believe that with this card. I believe that it's just it's a way in which we can sink in and say, okay, I'm ready to start this. I'm signing, you know, I'll sign the dotted line, I'll handshake it, I'll pinky swear it, whatever it is, but I'm committing to this from this point forward. I feel like that's what the Hierophant is here for. And the Three of Wands is also telling me that same message. The Three of Wands, it's you, it's your partner, and then it's what you create, okay? The three. And if this is a little person, then you create that little person. But what this is you are sowing your seeds. You've put those wands down, and now you're waiting for the next. The Four is what comes, which is the solid, traditional, foundational, marriagey card. But the Three is waiting for that. It's saying that it's going to come in. I believe that it is. I'm just waiting for it. She's got a mirror. She's looking, she's not even looking at the mirror. She's showing the mirror to us. So she knows it's coming. She's waiting for it to show itself to her and to itself, right? She's waiting for it to look at itself. And it being the new relationship, the new commitment, all of that's coming from this change from the past. So again, let's recap. The past, there was something that needed to change, some kind of complacent relationship that could have been with a fire sign, but something that there was a tower moment. Everybody resisted it because there was security, stability. It felt like it was a long-term relationship of how things have always been, but something needed to change. Somebody needed to grow. So can the relationship grow together? Well, that's where we're at in the present. And when you, Libra, take on your power and you say, this is what I need, and I'm going to be open to receiving that from you, that is when everything will start to change. The Queen will flip and these wands get put down. So the arguments will stop because you're stating that what you need rather than here just being okay with what you've been given. That's the difference. And when you, as a queen, as an empress, state what you need, then the universe will provide that, because how else would anyone know? Then your partnership will know, and they'll figure out how to provide that for you. Now in the future, because they're going to provide that, you have a new commitment. Okay, you have a new connection that's working out together. Whatever this means, however you're going to restructure your relationship so that it doesn't feel so stagnant, that you can let go of it, that the tower doesn't have to come and throw everything off, and that your beloved can also be in their power, in their passionate, action-oriented power, because they've got that fire. And it's going to bring in everything that you wanted as long as you state that. Okay, now here's the thing, this Fool is here. It's going to be a new beginning. It's just that right now you may not be able to see it. You may not want to see it. Right now you might be healing from the past. Maybe there's some resentment and it's hard to see how this relationship would continue. But what the cards are saying is that it will. The step is that you have to come to terms with how you got to this place. Probably not speaking your truth, probably being up in your head. We'll get to that a little bit. And stating what you need, really coming to terms with what your desires are, so that you can start afresh and anew with this new relationship, okay? And just look at it like it's a new relationship. And I'll actually do it a step further. If this is something that came to an end and you are not in relationship anymore, you stepping into your power, putting down any kind of a struggle against what has happened and ready to move forward, what will come to you is something that is ready for commitment. There's going to be this structure that comes in that feels more stable, that feels more solid and beautiful. It's everything that you've been wanting, and it is a new beginning, okay? Now, this can go, it doesn't have to be just for relationship. It could be about money or about job or about health, you know. It could be about any of those things, because the story is the same. We got used to a pattern. We had to break the pattern. Now we have to choose a new foundation to build solidly and a new beginning on that new foundation. It's easy as that, Libra. That's pretty amazing. Now I'll just say this extra card here that wanted to come out. This is the Seven of Swords in reverse. I like that it's in reverse. When it's upright, it gives us the feeling that there's a little bit of deception happening, okay? When it's in the reverse, what that says is that there's no more deception here, okay? You're not going to be deceived, and you won't deceive yourself anymore. You're going to see things exactly as they are. You're looking at things exactly as they are, and you're choosing to have this new beginning, this beautiful new beginning, Libra. I'm loving this. I'm going to bring it back to the Four of Cups and the talking. Okay, so this month, it may be difficult to state your needs because of the Mercury retrograde, but really go within, grab a journal and write out what, if this is a past relationship, what would have made a change so that it didn't get to the extreme that it did? And then how can you integrate that into the future? So journal about what it is that you really want, how you see yourself in the future, receiving all of the beauty and all of how you want to be treated. Okay, write that down so that then you can easily communicate that. Even if it's that this went away, you're on a new date, and you pull out that notebook and say, look, this is what I need. These are my non-negotiables. That's what we all need to have, or what are our non-negotiables. Libra, this is a beautiful reading. I know that it's been, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but hopefully things are feeling like they're swelling and getting more and more beautiful. I really like this. There's a lot of karmic up-leveling and change that's occurring, and you are in it, and you are strong. And I think that's the best part, is that you're not going to be deceived anymore. You see exactly what's going on, and you are willing to step forward and to get to your next self, your higher level of self, because you deserve the love that you deserve. You deserve to be loved in the same way that you love, because you are the lovers. You love better than any other sign I know. Libra, stay in your power and let us know what you need and how to love you. I think I've said that even before, so still write it down and let us know. All right, Libra, if this is resonating for you, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to reach out, hit the, hold on. If you want to reach out, I've got a website if you want to have a personal with me. And at the very least, just hit that like button. It helps out the channel so much. Thank you so much, and I'm going to send you all of my love.